Hi, welcome to this little teach-in about how we at Recalibrate help organizations build their innovation engines. It's a very interesting sort of model that is grounded in research and, of course, also informed from years of experience of the creators of this model. I'll come to that in a bit, who's created this model. Now, before we get there, what really is, what's the challenge that this innovation engine addresses? So if you look at this whole piece holistically, it addresses four major functions of an innovation engine, which are mindsets. We will talk more about each of these functions later. Horizons is the second, then praxis is the third function, and then spaces. I'm going to quickly take you through these functions in more detail now. So just a little bit of study from PwC, research done very recently on this. Some research done recently on human behavior and culture, and very clearly 65% of leaders believe that innovative behaviors and cultures is important for the growth of an organization. Now, basically, when we talk of innovation, like I mentioned, mindsets, which we are first coming to, the point is you first have to really believe that there is an elephant out there, right? You want to believe that there's an elephant. Then you need to believe that an elephant can dance. You need to then get the elephant to believe that it can dance. And then you need to dance with the elephant. How does this translate into our corporate life scenario? So the employees need to first believe that they can innovate, right? They need to believe that they're very creative. They need to believe that they have resources within themselves and outside. Then they need to believe that with all the resources available, with the fact that they're very creative, they can be very innovative. They can make revolutionary innovations. And then the leadership and management needs to support these employees in terms of enabling them to create, to innovate, invent, what have you. Yeah. So primarily, there are 5 areas where organizations can innovate. Product, service is an area, which is really creating new products and services. Marketing is another area, business model, process innovation, and management innovation. So these are the 5 areas where employees can really contribute in terms of innovation, and these could be processes, they could be systems, new services, new products, what have you. Okay, so this is how our model looks like. The innovation mindset. So there's a logical flow to this model. We've been in conversations now with many senior leaders and teams working under those leaders, very sharp brains, very skilled in terms of various technology. What we really hear is that, and this is about 9 out of 10 times we hear this, we want our people to think. So their clients, our clients' clients, believe that while these guys are really good with execution, they may deliver on time, yet what their clients are looking for is more in terms of revolutionary innovation, disruptions, things, to add more value to the products or services. which is what our clients are struggling with. How do they get there? So pretty much, many people tell us we want our employees to think. And that, for me, is very fascinating. It's a fascinating comment because humans cannot not think. We are thinking. So my response to some of these people is, of course, mate, your employees do think. How can they not think? What you probably want them is to think in a certain direction, to think in a certain manner, to think in a certain style. That is exactly what innovation mindsets addresses. So there are three tectonic mindset shifts that we're looking at, from business thinking to innovative thinking, fixed to growth, and status quo to innovation culture. We use a whole brain approach here, which again is our area of expertise. Whole brain, there's about more than 50 years of research now that has been done on whole brain thinking using 8 dimensions. And we at Recalibrate are experts in basically helping people to first understand their thinking styles and then taking them on a journey to use all 8 dimensions. And we have seen some remarkable results for our clients. We've created, remarkable results where our clients have literally pivoted and they've changed direction from where they were earlier going. So we use whole brain thinking even in strategic decision making, in ideating, all of that. Yeah. So cultural imperatives is another big one. There are certain values that an organization needs to demonstrate and imbibe and put in the muscle when they want to really innovate rather than just business as usual. Those values are globally validated values, well researched. We help organizations and the employees to put those values in their muscle, demonstrate those values in action. So this is the mindsets. We work with shifting the mindsets before we even get on to establishing a clear line of sight, which takes us to really innovation horizon. What is your innovation horizon? What are the opportunities and possibilities? Are they even aware of it? What is the information your employees or you have, which can help you to determine your horizon? So mostly what we have, again, learned through our conversations and discovery with very large technology-driven organizations that we work with, the lack of clarity in the horizons, they really lack what really is the innovation vision, because they lack information. They are so busy in executing and day-to-day operations and firefighting that by the time they end their day, they don't even have the time to do some research or read or study, all of that. And they also need that work-life balance. So how do you really build these horizons with so much happening in your life? We have a great solution to this. We have a process where you don't need to really stop your business as usual activities, and you can still determine your horizon. So that's the value we bring in. Yeah, it's like a skier who's coming down the slope. Skiers don't stop to balance. They sort of have to balance in motion, and that's the advantage, and that's the process. Our learning process is so well grounded that you don't have to really stop your business activity. You dynamically use our techniques, our methods, apply them in your day-to-day organization work, day-to-day projects, and you see relevant change very fast, very quickly. It's not like we do a 3-4 month discovery and then you get on with your work and apply it. No. We do understand that in today's day and age, which it might sound very cliched, the VUCA environment, there is no time to stop and think. We got to think in motion. And we bring that to the table. Moving on, the next one really is innovation praxis, which talks more about the tools. This is the tools, design thinking, process methods, approaches, and frameworks. How do you really manage innovation? This is where incubation. So if you're taking it through to taking an idea through to incubation, the entire praxis does that, right? So, and then we have the spaces. infrastructure, physical environment. How does it look like? All of this contributes to big ideas, to quality ideas, to execution, to precision like execution. Spaces also are very critical. So this is really the innovation model, the engine. This is how we build the engine. This is a mentoring model. It's quite sort of self-explanatory. There is these ideas that are flowing from the, from the mindset shifts, horizons, praxis, and then they get into incubation. Just before incubation, you will notice there is a hot housing that happens. We also prepare employees, how to give a pitch, when they deliver a pitch finally to the management or to subject matter experts. That pitch also is all important. So all of that is covered. What's the output really? If you look at it, output is a new product, a new service, a new process, or a new business model. That's really the challenge statement in any one of these areas. Clear business outcomes, learning about creativity landscape, learn the power of using whole brain, open up to the world, enhance curiosity. So you would see from here the sort of, I'm sorry, I think, just give me a second. Okay. Sure, sorry about that. So these are some of the assured business outcomes that this program would sort of garner for the organization. Innovation mindsets, let's talk a little more about it. The key objectives here really is to open up to the world and enhance curiosity. So I'm sorry about that. Challenge status quo and current knowledge. Learn the 7 key traits of an innovator. Self-awareness for developing an innovator's mindset. When we talked about mindset shifts, deep understanding of how thinking styles using validated research tools. Clear business outcomes. These are outcomes organizations and businesses crave for. They want to garner these outcomes. And these are outcomes where most businesses are challenged to even garner. Our program, the whole building the innovation engine, helps organizations to assuredly garner these business outcomes. This is more to do with mindsets, really. These are the business outcomes for mindsets. So when you look at mindset shifts, what really, it's all about, from status quo culture, we do hear in our conversations that businesses, when leaders tell us that, we want to get a group of people away from business, these are going to be, so when they're working with their innovation culture, when they're really working with maybe creating incubation labs, they go through our model. So the process simply is first changing mindsets. That's very important for organizations. Many of the organizations we have spoken in the past 6 months have agreed and acknowledged how important this step is, this function is, before even expecting great changes or great innovations or what have you from the employees. So expectations are then set very realistically. Without the mindset shifts, it's like, I always say it's like giving a weapon to somebody who is an artist, really, or who works in a retail store, giving him or her a weapon to go out there on a battle exercise. I mean, how do you feel? How do you think will these people execute or perform in the battlefield? You've not even worked with their mindsets. You've just taken them from a retail store or an artist to do something which is totally out of their thinking, which is totally out of their stream. So that is why mindsets are so important here. The part here is that you look at mindsets, we do a lot of assessments first, a couple of assessments, and then they get a sense of their thinking styles, and then we do experiential workshops. All our learning, we have a learning methodology, which we will also share with you. This is the 4-month mindset shift journey. When we say 4 months, it really includes coaching as well. So while the workshops could be a day, half a day, but then they really go practice, and there is no higher return on investment, which is again acknowledged globally. And we know that there's no higher return on investment than including coaching. Now, this is how the anchoring happens. We ensure that within 4 to 8 weeks, employees are demonstrating an innovator's mindset. They are demonstrating an innovator's thinking. And we will have metrics in place. We will seek feedback from peers, from managers, what have you. So it's a very well-woven, sound program. It's very sound in its thought. It's very sound in its action. Yeah. This is a bit about, this is how whole brain thinking works. And then these are the 7 dimensions of an innovator's mindset. We work with each dimension. There are many activities, applications of how to develop each of these dimensions and how to demonstrate it and garner results. So that's about the mindsets. We come to horizons. Horizons really is about getting your charter. It's called the innovation charter, where you really know what's your horizon, what are the challenges out there, what is possible, what are the possibilities, what's really happening in your industry, what could happen. So there's a lot of information that's required here. We do those sessions. These are really ideation sessions to really get your horizon for your organization. So a fair amount of research goes into this, and a fair amount of advisory services, and a fair amount of brainstorming and reflections go in this. Praxis is, again, this is where the rubber hits the road, if you like. Now that, most of the thinking is now in the muscle. Now people have started to think like innovators. They have started to take risks. They have started to be more intuitive. They've, they don't come from a status quo a thinking style. They're more now innovative. They're more risk-taking. All of that has happened. Now, how does that convert to the praxis? How does praxis draw from there? So we've already gone through this. This is what the praxis is all about. Once you have the mindsets, horizons, now you've really come down to ideating, and you've come down to now, incubating those ideas. So there's a whole process. We help organizations manage this process. So we come in as facilitators, we come in as advisors, we come in as consultants, and we come in as executioners. Yeah. This is a process. Input is a challenge, could be a business problem. For example, you want to probably increase the reliability index of your organization. That's a challenge you've thrown at a bunch of 12 or 14, 15 people. They will go and they'll come up with 8 or 4 ideas, which they will then present. And that's the how hot housing happens there. They present to experts in the organization. And then, of course, you have the output, which is an approved prototype. How does it impact the system? High-level delivery experts, go-to-market, what have you. This probably sums up the whole journey in one sense. If you the incubation journey, there's going to be mentoring, coaching, there's working with culture, there's going to be pruning, and then exiting. Now, this is how the incubation journey pans out. This is ongoing mentoring from Innovative Coach across 4 months. So we have coaches with specialized specializations in their subjects, and they will mentor and coach and observe while your people, your employees use these techniques to ensure accuracy. We all know there is a huge gap in theory, and then in execution, in strategy and execution. We plug that gap. So we want zero. We want zero tolerance towards inaccuracy. That's why we be there. We handhold. What this also does is, we've noticed, mostly when people attend these workshops, just in isolation, standalone design thinking workshops and SIT, what have you, they do get all charged up. They do get all excited because humans love to learn new stuff. That's how we design. Well, the only piece is it all falls down within 14 to 1 month. They really use it? Because they need some encouragement. They need some practice. They need some mentoring. And when they really get a hang of it, it's like playing golf, really. You know, one is to watch the game, to learn the nuances, to learn about the course and create all that excitement, and then get yourself a set, learn about what club is used when, all of that. It's really like playing golf, very technical. Then what? You go out there all by yourself with a couple of other people or a bunch of other people who are in the same boat, who've also just learned about it and excited about it. But then when you start playing and you don't get your shots right, you very quickly exit, you get demoralized. That's why these things don't work without mentoring and coaching. That's why companies fail. About 94% companies fail to create or develop their innovation engines. They fail miserably to have their employees think creatively. They try hard, though. They really try hard. The fact is they're pressing the wrong buttons. And we say that with a lot of candor, with boldness. Most organizations, 9 out of 10, we've spoken with, and these organizations on the face of it are churning huge revenues. They are technology institutes, yet are they even realizing half of what they have the potential to do? Are their employees even realizing half or 50% of what they can create, the possibilities? My answer is no, because all of this is missing. People talk of lack of funds, budgets. That's always going to be the case. The fact is, if you spend in the right manner, if you invest in the right manner, the returns on investments also 500%. That's what I have to say with all my conversations and dialogues that we have all the time. So this is something we did last year in 2017. Recalibrate did a one of its kind survey, comprehensive survey on the innovation mindset or innovation culture, climate, if you like, of India. We did a study. About 275 organizations participated in this study. And we have a report which was launched in one of the events last year. These are some snippets from that report. So this is what it is. And thank you very much. Do hope you have, I'm sure you guys will have a lot of questions, after watching this little recorded teach-in webcast, if you like. We're happy to, answer those questions. Raja, thank you for, organizing this piece the other day and bringing your team, to attend this. And look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Thank you very much.